Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am here with a book haul, which is something that I don't do very often because if you've been here for a while, you know that I'm predominantly an e-reader. Also started to add a lot of audiobooks into the mix of my life. It just kind of suits me better, but for some reason I just had to buy 14 books, so I'm here to tell you all about them. I think that you probably know by now I'm a pretty diverse reader, so I'll kind of read anything and everything. A lot of these are fantasy, there is a couple of YAs, I've got some classics, and there is a sci-fi as well, so I'm like really excited. So the first two books I picked up, I'm pretty excited because I love the covers as well and they sound amazing, and that is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and then I also got the sequel, which is The Hawthorne Legacy. So it's a trilogy. It was going to be a duology from what I heard, but I mean, we're back on our bullshit and we're going to be doing everything in fucking trilogies apparently, so that's fine. So obviously I can't tell you about this second book because I haven't even read it yet, but the first book is something I also haven't read. Like, I'm not gonna pretend like I've read it. Oh my god, Michaela, relax. Anyway, so it's about this girl who is like dirt shit poor, and then one day this super rich man dies and wow, she's in his will. How amazing. I'm pretty sure there is like a couple of guys. I'm not too sure if it's a reverse camera. I'm pretty sure it's YA, so I can't exactly see it being like a, you know, fun time for this girl. But you know, maybe we'll wait and see. Maybe she'll just kiss everyone instead of having actual fun. So it's been described as perfect for like fans of Knives Out. It's kind of almost like a cozy mystery in that respect, but also not really a cozy mystery. It's just in the vein of that, like a fun cast of characters, and I'm just excited to read it because I've heard good things. Not excited that I'm gonna have to wait for the third book though. The next 6 books I picked up because they had a special at my local bookstore, and I think that it was like 3 books for $15. So these are all classics and they've just kind of got like really cute covers. A couple of them they do double up, that's already in my collection, but I mean, they're really pretty, so you'll understand why I've got them. So one of the first ones that I got that I don't actually have a physical copy of, but I have read a million times, is Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. I am basic. This is my favorite Shakespeare. My daughter, who's now 9, she actually was watching the movie with me, the Leonardo DiCaprio one, and she was like understanding it. So when that movie first came out, my dad took me to see it, and I would have been like, ooh, I want to say 7, maybe 7, and like I watched it, I was just obsessed. Like from that day forward, I was like a Romeo and Juliet sort of bitch. Like I was just like, why can't I fall in love and unalive myself when I'm 14, the guy that I've just slept with? Like, is that normal? No, I've never been normal. Thank you. And another book I grabbed was The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. I haven't read this one. I just felt like it was kind of something to have on the shelf, especially as my kids are getting older now and they're like really interested in reading. I just think it's kind of important to have books like this around. So really classic pieces of literature and well-known books, and just kind of like, go and read some Sherlock, children. Honestly, I'm not as pretentious as I seem, I promise. Another one that I've already got a copy of, my husband actually has it in his bookshelves, but that is 1984 by George Orwell. I just really liked this cover. I thought it was really cool, kind of fits with everything else, the black cover. Always good to have another copy of this kind of lying around. I'm pretty sure everyone knows the story of this, but it's getting more and more like that in this day and age. This is actually what like got me wanting to buy them all, even though I have at least 3 copies of this book. I just saw the cover and I was like, oh my gosh, it is so beautiful. But that is Pride and Prejudice. I mean, look at that. Is this bitch not living her best cottagecore lifestyle? Like, I want to be running and frolicking in a field. Like, I'm coming, Mr. Darcy, I'm coming. No, just kidding. That's probably Jane. She's blonde. Because it is spooky season, regardless of the fact that this entire 2 years has been spooky as fuck. Like, too much going on all the time. But I picked up Dracula by Bram Stoker. I can't wait to read this one. It is October as I'm filming this. I do have a bit of a TBR going on. If you are friends with me on Goodreads, I'll link it down below, as well as my Instagram. If you're not following that Instagram, everything will be down there. But yes, so I'm kind of doing like spooky books at the moment, so I figured that this will be like a good one. The last book that I got from the sort of classic pile is The Odyssey by Homer, and this is a genuine translation. They think it's not really like paraphrasing or a retelling. It's kind of like it's presented differently. Can you see? It's just, it's words on a page. This is a book. If it's your first time seeing one, this is what they look like. Read The Odyssey probably back when I was like 14, and you know, because that was just the sort of 14-year-old that I was. Honestly, I should show you some of the books that I used to read when I was younger. If you want to see some of the books that I thought I was grown enough, like Poppy Z. Brite, oh my, honestly, that's a video. That's got to be a video, because while I was perusing the bookshop, I came across this book that was maybe like more than half price, because I think that they're changing the covers, and that is Prince of Thorns by Mark Lawrence. This is, I'm pretty sure, a grimdark book. I just learned what that means. I've just read some reviews and apparently this guy is like terrible. I read the first chapter and I was like, okay, color me intrigued. I think he's 13 years old. What's his name? Jorg. His name's Jorg. And he's just basically like Joffrey. It's like being inside Joffrey's mind for maybe 3 or 5 books, something like that. So I'm excited to read this one. Probably hate the kid, want him to die. Maybe he will die. I'll just have to read the books and find out, won't I? I picked up Dune. I know that this is becoming a movie. Not really that interested in seeing the movie if I'm completely honest. That's fine though. I've got the book and I really like this cover as well because there was other ones with the cast of the movie and I was like, and then I saw this and I was like, okay, cool, you can come home with me. I'd seen a few reviews for these books and I finally decided to take the plunge and start my collection of them because I really like the covers, obviously. I bought the first 3 books in the series and I know that it's being adapted into an Amazon Prime TV show and I didn't realize that Rosamund Pike, I was gonna say Hodge, oh my god, remember that Cruel Beauty book that everyone like raved about and like nobody actually liked, we just liked the cover? Dark times. The Wheel of Time, The Eye of the World. So I read the first chapter of this. I had just bought this book and I was like, okay, like I'll just check this one out, it'll be fine. So I read the first chapter and was like, fuck, that sounds amazing. I haven't read any more. And then when I went and bought book 2, which is The Great Hunt, and these are obviously both by Robert Jordan, and then I also got, my friend got me this today, so this is why I had to film the haul because I finally got it, and it's The Dragon Reborn. So I've got the first 3 books in the Wheel of Time series. This is like a huge series, absolutely enormous. The author actually passed away while writing this book and Brandon Sanderson had to kind of like pick up the pieces and sort of go. I know that there are parts people have said like that are just kind of unbearable. it gets too much, but you know what, I'm kind of down for a little bit of unbearable. I love a long-term commitment. I know that like now that I've committed to buying them, I will just buy all of them and read them because it's the same thing happened with Game of Thrones. Like I tried to watch the TV show of Game of Thrones. I watched the first season 3 times and was like, I don't get it. Like I've never gotten past the first season. And now I'm up to date on the books and now I'm just like, well, the same thing's probably gonna fucking happen. Like George R.R. Martin's gonna pop off and then Brando Sando's gonna have to come in and save the day. I also need to read my Brandon Sanderson books. Oh my god, honestly, so many books, so little time. Last book that I saw out in the wild, I was amazed to see it. Like I was like, what are you doing here? I was like, you know, finding water in the desert sort of thing. But that is Dark Rise by C.S. Pacat. This is another high fantasy book. Ancient world of magic is no more. Heroes are dead. Halls ruined. Great battles between light and dark are forgotten. So I'm down for it. It is the first book in maybe a trilogy, so buying the first book the day that it's released, not the best idea, but you know, that's just the sort of dumb bitch that I am. Those are all of the books that I got in my haul. I don't know when the next time I'm going to be doing another one is. Probably just to tell you I've bought books like, you know, 4 through to 504 of the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan, because, you know, that's going to happen. And now I'm just like looking at my bookshelves. I did move my bookshelves. I don't know if you guys kind of noticed, I was talking about that in my last video. That was a whole ordeal. That was like, we're not going to talk about it. We're going to keep this nice and positive. And it was a book haul and it was all good. And I'm not gonna go there. We've got Shadowhunters. I was like, is it so gauche to have Shadowhunters in your books in like 2021? Probably. Oh well. Get fucked. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of these books, if you enjoyed them, if there's any that I should read before I read the ones that I was like, yay, how exciting. Be like, no bitch, you need to be reading Dune before you read Wheel of Time, all sorts of stuff. So I love talking to you guys so much. I've missed you all again because it's been 3 weeks and I'm really sorry, but I survived school holidays and I'm proud of myself. And I'm proud of you for making it through the rest of this video. I hope that you're having a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. Lots of love, hugs, and kisses. Mwah! Bye.